All right, guys. Let's talk today. Today is September 10th, 2019. Let's talk today about the Yamas. We're going to talk about the Yamas, spelled Y-A-M-A-S. The Yamas is the first of the steps of the 8 steps of yoga. Okay? You're going to write this down. The attitude we have towards things, Yama means the attitude we have towards things and people outside ourselves. Yes, the attitude we have towards things and people outside ourselves. The word Yama means disciplined or restraint from a, air quote, negative attitude, thought, or behavior. The word Yama means disciplined or restraint from a, air quote, negative attitude, behavior, or thought. All right. So the attitudes we have, the attitudes, the thoughts, the perceptions, all of those things that we have toward things and people outside ourselves. Why do you think that's important? Yes?
How we treat others is a reflection of how we are.
Right, so how we, yes, that affects how we treat others, yes. So that affects how we treat others. It affects how we judge others. It affects how we behave with others. It affects our relationships with others. Okay? So the Yamas are extremely, extremely telling to something going on inside here. And what it does is it helps us to see whether or not we're acceptant or tolerant. Acceptant or tolerant. How many of you guys, by raise of hand, would say that you guys are acceptant? Acceptance of everything. What does that mean? That means you're acceptant of people, places, circumstances, and events. Even if they don't set well with you. That means that somebody's lifestyle will never change your perception of them. So if Mariah came to me and said, I'm a transgender and I've been hiding it all this time and her and I are friends, that label has nothing to do with my friendship, my trust, my integrity with her, and my relationship with her. That's being acceptant. Right? Being tolerant means Mariah comes to me, says I'm a transgender, and I say, sounds good, and then all of a sudden, I'm not really her friend, even though I claim to be her friend. So I don't seek her out anymore, so I become tolerant if she's in the room with me. Tolerant to things, and I smile with her and I chat with her, but as long as there's a distance between us. Make sense? So why are the Yamas important then? Because they tell us who we really are. Oh my goodness, they tell us who you think. Sometimes we think we're somebody and we're not. So the Yamas will tell us really who we are when we take the time to be in that study, in the study of the Yamas. Make sense? So let's say I say that I'm tolerant, or let's say that I say I'm acceptant of everything, and my daughter comes home with I'm just choosing. My daughter comes home with there's more discrimination toward a minority, right? So let's say she comes home with somebody that is not of the Hispanic, Latino, Latinx culture, ethnicity, you choose your word, right? And then I look at it and I go, well, you won't see eye to eye, but I don't ever really get into that ethnicity thing. And yet I find that there's a resistance inside me. Then I need to go inside because I found out that I'm not really acceptant. I'm tolerant. I'm okay with you being transgender, Eduardo, and you, Mariah, as long as you guys stay away from me and don't come to my house. Does that make sense? That, my friends, is how we begin this journey of self-development, how we begin this journey of self-awareness, how we begin this transformational journey we call yoga. Does that make sense? And so that's why, my friends, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And some of you guys are here, but you're not ready. So there will be a lot of judgment. There will be a lot of question. Why is she making us do that? Let me tell you this. When you ask why, you are in judgment. You are in judgment. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you begin and listen to yourself when you speak, because you will learn a lot about yourself as you speak. How do you begin sentences? How do you begin in a conversation? Notice how you begin your response to that conversation. What word are you using? Immediately, number one word. A lot of us tend to use the word no. No, well, he said, no, well, no, well, it's not really like that. We begin our sentences with the word no. Or we begin the sentence with, I don't, or it's not, that's not. A lot of self-reflection comes in there because the moment you use any of those words, you are in judgment. You are in judgment. God, I hate this lady. Right? Don't shoot the messenger, right? But that's the truth, guys. That's the truth. And when you begin to realize that, then you can change, but you can't change something that you don't know is something you want to change. Right? How can you fix it if you don't know it's broke? And broke is all perception. If you don't like that, if you don't like how it is, and if you like yourself being a biatch or whatever, then cool. Accept it. But if you want to get to another level and you want to expand your horizons and begin to attract people of different mentalities, then yes, there's work to do in here. And that's what yoga tells us. careful because all I hear coming through the hallways is how we complain about other people. And so the Yamas tell us it's now time for us to take a look inside. To be, as Gandhi said, to be the change that we want to see in the world. You see, here is the secret. If you want more friendship in your life, you have to be more friendly. If you want more love in your life, you have to be more loving. If you want people to respect you, you need to respect first. If it feels good and you want a hug, you need to be the one giving the hug first. If you're the one that says, people don't really smile, my question is, turn around and look at, do you walk around with a smile? You see, we cannot fix anybody else. We can only fix ourselves. And that's what this is about. That's what this journey is about. The Yamas are going to transform you, and they're going to twist you, and they're going to piss you off. And remember, I'm just the messenger. Now, then you'll ask, well, lady, do you do that all the time? Are you like that all the time? My answer to you is hell no. I'm human and I'm living a spiritual existence, working at it every single day. Does my humanness show? Hell yeah. Does it show every day? Oh yeah. Did it show an hour ago? Uh-huh. You see, the difference is just that I know when it's showing, so I now can fix it. I'm no longer walking around mindless, or as some of the authors will say, we're walking around in a mindless, unawakened state. I'm awakened, baby. I'm totally, when I call you a biatch, you know I know what I'm doing.
You know I mean it, right?
Right. And I totally know I'm in my humanness. But then that means that I can fix it. So that's what you guys are going to get with your Yamas. Does that make sense? And then it's going to be a big burden on you. Because you can no longer, from this day forward, say, I didn't know what I was doing. That's it. Take responsibility for what you say, what you think, what you do, and how you behave. Right? Because there's only two kinds of people in this world, guys. Those that react and those that prevent. That's it. All right, so we use yoga to gain clarity for our lives. And the first sign of clarity happens when you actually can actually identify or recognize your mistakes. That's what we're going for. And by practicing the asanas, the prana, the meditation, and learning the yamas, we become more clear as to what we want in our life. Right? And we can make better choices because we can choose all the time. If we don't like the way our life is pointed, we can choose. We can choose again. If you don't like your career, you can choose a different one. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Do not live your life. Yoga tells us, do not live your life trying to please somebody else or chasing the money, because you'll never, ever reach that money when you're chasing it, because it's an energy. But when you do what you love and what you really feel aligns with your values and turns you on, and it's the thing that you can do regardless of whether or not for it, then my friends, you have found what you need to do and the money will follow. And I know because you guys are young and beautiful, because I was there once too, and I remember asking my counselors, my teachers, how many years does it take to be a school counselor? How many years does it take to be a manager? How many years does it, and I went around asking, and how much does a manager make? And collecting information as if that was the way that I chose my career. And I did. And you know what? The universe slapped me right in the butt. Slap me right in the butt, because no matter where you think, it'll transform you, and the opportunities that will come around, it'll transform you, and it'll change you, and all of a sudden you'll be on the right track. It just is. It just is, right? So be careful that you're not caught up in that, because the Yamas are part of that. That's an attitude and a behavior. How are you choosing your career? Because you get weekends off? Because you get good money? Because you get, is that really why you're choosing it? Do you know that here's a sobering statistic. How many of you guys have ever needed or know somebody that's needed a doctor? What if I told you that over 70% of the doctors out there went into the medical field because of the money? Now, I don't know about you. Thank God I'm an alternative healer. All right? But I don't know about you, but so far I've been misdiagnosed for every one of my counselors, and they screwed me over and made me worse. And I'm done with them practicing on me. Practicing medicine. So, do you want somebody practicing on you who just got to that field just because there's good money in it? No. So imagine you doing the same thing. How good of a job do you think you're going to do? Why do you think it's so expensive, insurance malpractice? We have to cover their ass, because if they get sued because they screwed it up, malpractice. One of my best friends, he was 53 years old, the doctors killed his liver. Malpractice suit? Hell yeah. But you know, it takes so long in the courts. But yeah, they killed his liver. That's just one. I have all kinds of stories. I work with doctors all the time. So what I'm telling you is this. Choose, my friends. If it doesn't align with you, choose again. But whatever you do, do not choose because you think it's got a good entry level. If that's the case, how many of you guys want to make $95,000 right out of college right now? Right? I'll tell you where to go. Become an elevator tech. How many people are so excited and inspired by being an elevator tech? Not many, right? So they're very few and far between, and that's why they command a lot of money. So if you're chasing the money, go and be an elevator tech. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? And so yoga says, be aware. This is part of it, guys. You guys are thinking she's walking her bird walk. No, I'm not. It's the attitudes, the behaviors, the thoughts that we have outside ourselves, because somebody like your mommy is saying, you better be a doctor, baby, because I want you to be a doctor. And sometimes we heed that. So be real careful. This is your life. I'm sorry, parents, but this is your life, guys. This is your life. I know that being a parent, all I want my kids to do is be happy. Yeah, I'm going to push them. Yeah, I'm going to push them. I'm not lying. Get a good college degree, and then if you want to go and be a bum, then be a bum. But don't ask me for money. Right? But the point is yeah, we're always going to push. Right? You have choices. Remember that. And be careful with those choices. And be cognizant of the energy you're putting behind those choices. Questions? Does that make sense what Yamas are? We're just going to be talking about that this week. Next week we get into the first Yama. Okay? All right, let's get up and let's asana. Questions, concerns, comments? No. Yes. Yes, please. Send me, it's my mommy's birthday, and send me a birthday cake. Yes.
My cell phone is in my truck.
So then afterwards, send me a birthday cake and say, remember, I was still in class. All right, and then as you guys are sending me the birthday cake, raise your hand. How many of you guys, did everybody sign up for the AIDS walk? Yeah? Raise your hand. Because the coordinator of the volunteers was like, oh my freaking God, Marty, you got 30 people, we so love you. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like, I got 30? It's like, okay, between this class and the other classes, yes. Okay, so I don't have the paper with me, but send me your, I think they need your email, your shirt size, and your name. Okay. And yeah. Is anybody bringing anybody under the age of 15 with them, like your little sister, because you have to babysit them, or your child that's under the age of 18? No? You guys are all coming by yourselves? You're not even coming, huh? Spastic! Oh, 4:30 in the morning, Professor. God, no, man. So, right? All right. So, is anybody bringing that? Because I need to know, because then we need.
What if it's a maybe?
Okay, so then if it's a maybe, then when we're there, then they'll have you fill it out. You'll just need to fill out a waiver for your son.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask, what's the age limit if there's no?
There's no age limit. They'll take you as long as you're, if you have to drag your child, So, there's no age limit, guys, okay? I do have another opportunity for volunteers. So, like I told you, I'm a philanthropist and everybody freaks out, right? So, right now,